As some of you might know, I recently released a Godzilla vs. Gamera AI short film. Today I'm going to show you guys how I made that short film, the specific programs and tools I used, and also some other things you may want to know if you want to make your own little AI short film. Now, to originally create this video, I wanted to do everything as much as possible through AI. So even the idea came from an AI. I went to Bing AI and I told it this: could you please write an outline for this film idea? A 1960s Godzilla vs. Gamera movie. Nuclear testing in Antarctica awakens Gamera. Godzilla senses this, and the two monsters come into conflict with each other. The action takes place in Africa, India, and Japan. This is the actual, I copied and pasted this and put it into Word, but this is what it gave me. About a one-page story outline. And this is what I followed to create all the images and shots. Bing AI did a pretty decent job of creating a story that would really feel like a 1960s Showa-era Godzilla or Gamera film. It did a pretty decent job of creating that. It's a little cheesy, it's a little silly, but it works for this. And Bing AI is free to use for anyone if you've got Bing or Microsoft Edge installed. You could also probably do this in ChatGPT, I'm sure. So in order to create the images for this, right, I used Leonardo AI. It's like an image generator. There's a couple out there, but I have a Leonardo AI paid plan that I'm using. Let me just show you how Leonardo AI works. So you have like kind of this whole menu here that you can basically, type in a prompt, and then you can kind of specify it. You can add some negative prompts, and then you can even add some image to image to really help the generator really create a specific image you want. You first start out by typing in your prompt. So you might, in this case, what I did was something like a 1960s sci-fi film. Let's say Godzilla with blue flame breath in jungle, right? And then I have these kind of settings. These are the settings I use a lot, but you can change it from like dynamic to cinematic. But this is their Diffusion XL. It's like the best one. They can also add a negative prompt. Now, negative prompting is actually something that's quite important. What this does is it's basically going to filter things you don't want. And this can be really useful because you can put in things like blurry, distortion, misshapen, anything that like you don't want to see. And it's sometimes easier than just putting every time in your prompt. But then if you really want to get really like, I want to tell the AI to do this exact kind of image, and I did this quite a bit for this project. Leonardo AI has what's called image guidance, where you can basically upload an image and it will use that as a reference and try and, based on this image, create a new image for you. So I actually have this image I created, and I created a few images. Basically, I went into Photoshop and I kind of, these are almost like rough drafts of what I want the shot to look like. So I created these kind of very quickly in Photoshop, and then I uploaded these to Leonardo AI, and that kind of gave me the specific image I wanted. I had to mess with it a bit. There's this setting called strength. So what this means is how closely will the AI follow this image you've uploaded? Like, will it be kind of using it as reference, or will it like try and basically directly recreate it? So I had to play with the strength a lot. I had to kind of, try different images. So once I had my images created, then I went to Pika. I think they were once called Pika Labs, but I went to pika.art to actually animate, if you can call it that, the images. And Pika is actually the newest release. It used to be Pika Labs, but Pika is the newest version. And with Pika, you get the new version is actually quite nice. It's quite powerful, but the only thing is that now it requires a paid plan, which I don't have, so I just use the free version, and I get about 30 credits a day, which every video you generate is about 10 credits, so you get roughly 3 short videos a day. Basically, like the other ones, you can type in your prompt, and then you can upload your image, and then you can give it a bunch of settings. There's some video options about the aspect ratio you want, the frames per second. You can actually, control the camera movement here. You can pan, tilt, rotate, zoom. You can modify the motion. You also have the negative prompts, which again is very important to use. And if you look at some of the clips I had created, If I go to info here, you'll see that I included all of this. This negative prompt was really helpful. So negative prompting, especially when it comes to video, is super important. And this is a really good one I use for a lot. Even if I only had like 3 a day, I still made it work. But when I would run out of credits, what I would do is I would go to Pika Labs, I guess. The beta, basically, for Pika Labs is still open. And what this is like, it's almost like an inferior version, but it's free. And you can use it as many times as you want. And there's some really good tutorials on how to use Pika Labs. And the thing is, it's free. So you can make as many as you want a day. There's no limit. I will say the quality of Pika.art is better because it's like the official release, but you only can really do 3 clips a day if you're using the free version. So if once you run out, you can go to the Discord. As of now, the Discord is still open and available to join, and you can make as many as you want. I don't know if they're going to keep the beta open for much longer, because obviously they have a paid version now. Finally, to create the voices in the video, I went over to 11 Labs, which is a very powerful AI voice generator, and that actually gives you quite a bit of options. Even on the free plan, you get access to quite a lot of voices in different languages, but you can kind of mess around with the settings a little bit to give you something a bit more of what you want. You can maybe exaggerate them a little bit more than they actually are. But the thing is that also, if you do it too much, it will kind of start to sound silly. And then you have a certain amount of characters you can use. But for this project, I wasn't even close to using up all the characters I needed. If you're doing something like this, it's just a couple of lines of audio for a video, you should be fine with the free plan. But if you want to do like audiobooks or podcasts, something a bit longer form, then you might want to consider some of the other plans that 11 Labs has. But yeah, you can just go through the whole list of voices and you can hear them. Yeah, so you can pick a voice and then you just type in the text you want and then you just go down to generate. You can also, and I haven't done this yet, but upload an audio file of you talking, or you could record audio, and then what it will do is convert that into this new voice that you've selected. So let's say you have a specific way you want to say something, but you don't want to say it, you want a character to say it. You can record your voice and then you can use one of these voices here. I haven't done this option yet, but it seems quite powerful. But honestly, even the text-to-speech for me was really very easy to use, and there was a ton of voices, and obviously I was able to create quite a few voices for this. But I will say 11 Labs comes with a lot of features, but there's many things you could do with it. You could do AI narrated content. You could create voiceovers for social media content. You could create, like I said, an audiobook. There's a lot of other features that 11 Labs has, especially if you've got the creator plan. Then you can actually clone your own voice. And then what that means is you just clone your voice and then you can just reuse it and just type out what you need, and you don't have to spend time recording your voice and making sure that it sounds good and everything. You can also automatically voice your content into other languages, and you can create and edit dubs in seconds. This is actually already in the free plan as well, which is really helpful for YouTube channels that create content that they want to then put into other languages, because many YouTubers would love to reach international audiences, but you could clone your voice or someone else's voice you have permission to use, and you will only have access to these voices, no one else. 11 Labs has a lot of features, which means I will receive a small commission on a purchase without additional cost to you if you buy something through my links to 11 Labs. If you do purchase through my affiliate link, I really appreciate the support. It really helps out the channel a lot. Thank you.